Good evening, everybody. Good evening in the back. We know you think you're cool. I assure you, you are, but you can still listen. Good evening, everybody. My name is Chen. I'm president of Gold House, the leading API changemaker community. It's such a privilege to be here at Asia Society, where I also have the privilege of serving as the Southern California board director. I did move to New York, so you can see where my allegiances lie on the coast a year ago, and I'm not going back ever. In all seriousness, though, happy Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, everybody. Also, for those of you who are real allies, happy Wednesday, where every day is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Day. It's so incredible to be here in the beautiful penthouse of Asia Society. I have never been in a more expensive building in my entire life, which is more an indication of me and less an indication of Asia Society's endowment. But it's so incredible being here because this is one of the very first events that Asia Society has hosted in New York since the pandemic, or the pandemic started. I think, given many of us have not seen a human being in about 2 years, it's important to recenter why we are actually here. We hear that diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, I'm sure next week there will be yet another inoffensive word to add into that acronym. We all know why this is important, but I think it's important to concretize at a numeric level why. According to everyone's favorite university, Harvard, and for the record, I did not go to Harvard. Therefore, it's not my favorite. But according to Harvard Business Review, as so many of you know, the API community is actually the least likely to be promoted to management. And API women in particular are the least likely. Now, this is jarring because in industries like finance, the law, technology, in medicine even, where we punch well above our 7.1% domestic weight, we are half of executive ranks and single digits in the C-suite despite powering so much of those industries. I began and was nurturing my early career in Silicon Valley, where we're about a third of the workforce, an entire third, and yet we are single digits in the C-suite. That lopsidedness feels wrong. And so this is why we are, of course, here tonight. It's not only to celebrate progress, but more importantly, the people behind the progress who are shaping a proportionate opportunity to grow. Most notably, I'd like to recognize the inaugural class, who are all my elders, so far beyond me to recognize any of you. Though age is just a number, everyone. We all look 25 until we're 60, and then we look 100. Or at least for some of us in the room. Those of you who do not, don't worry. We have some Korean skincare experts in here. We'll take care of you, I promise. Drink your water. Stay out of your planes. But in all seriousness, everyone please give a round of applause for the inaugural APA Drivers of Diversity. I promised I wouldn't pick on any of you because some of you are my very favorite people, but know when I say, and you'll see in a moment, that these are people who are not just incredible executives and candidly agnostic of their race, have driven success at the highest levels in their industries, finance, health tech, and so forth, but have gone out of their way to ensure that they send the elevator down every step of the way. As we all know, this is very difficult. It's easy to rise unto yourself in a, let's just say, very specific system that you owe nothing to and ignore everyone else around you. We also know that many people will wait till they ascend to the highest rank and then consider sending the elevator down. We also, in my world, know of many founders who wait till they're unicorn founders and then start their foundations because apparently they are born-again humanitarians. These days, that sort of delayed behavior is no longer acceptable, as we all know. For more than 50% of the population, millennials, which I am, and Gen Z, which I wish I was, we expect companies and leaders to be great and good at once. And I think these APA Drivers of Diversity are pantheons of that. Could you all actually stand, partly because sitting will kill you, partly because Asia Society needs pictures. Please stand up. One more round of applause. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I've never seen so many senior people be so shy about standing up. Do your chiefs of staff stand up for you now? I'm joking. Finally, in closing, we all know that we would never be here without our allies, whether they're from other multicultural groups who are so essential because we learn from them and we stand on their shoulders with them, but also through corporate allies. Notably, I'd like to recognize Marriott, the largest hotel chain in the world, 8,000 hotels, over 1 million rooms. I'm, of course, a loyal Bonvoy member. I'm only mentioning that so that I get free Ambassador Elite status. And if you're not a Bonvoy member, how do you sleep at night? Probably not well. Probably in a hotel chain that first letter also starts with an H for hell. This is why I never get invited back twice. But in all seriousness, I am a loyal Bombay member. But with that, we love to welcome an old friend, Senior Vice President of Multicultural Affairs, Social Impact, and Business Council, and also, because he is such a multi-hyphenate, these millennials, they keep us so young. He's also, of course, a part of Asia Society's incredible Global Talent and Diversity Council. Please welcome Mr. Apoorva Gandhi.
Wow, I don't know if I can follow that. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. Give me a call about that elite status. We'll make that happen, okay? It worked. It worked. Again, thanks to everyone here. Congratulations to the Drivers for Diversity. Is really an amazing honor. And, being someone who works in this area, it's a lot of work. It's a lot to carry every day. It's a lot to deliver and stand up for, in addition to your normal job, so to speak. And it's really important. So thank you. It's impacting people in a very, very positive way, and it's helping, as was said before, to bring people up. And that's what we really need to do and continue to do. So thank you and congratulations. It is so great to be here in person, right? You all look great. Thank you to the Asia Society for giving us the honor of being the presenting sponsor today. Thank you, Chris. I want to give Chris a round of applause because this guy, let me talk for a minute about Chris because he's truly amazing. He takes on this role like the end of 2019 or right before, and then a pandemic hits. But this guy rolls with everything. He figures it out, and he delivers every day of the week. And it's an honor to work with you. And we're just so proud to count you as a dear friend to marry. So thank you. Thank you. I would also, when I think of the Asia Society, one of the reasons I love coming here, first of all, this is my first time in New York in 2 years. My God, I miss this place. But I think it's because we have shared values. When you think about what the Asia Society stands for, right, it's about, we share those values about diversity, about equity, about inclusion, belonging for all. For all, no matter who you are, where you come from, who you pray to, what your abilities are, or who you love. We want to be a place, Asia Society strives for inclusion for all, and guess what? So does Marriott International. We welcome everyone to our hotels every day of the week. You can fly. Yeah. Thank you. And we work really hard at it because it's something that we feel that I can stand here and talk about it, but the next time you check into one of our hotels, and I hope you do, you need to feel it when you check in, when you're greeted, when you walk out of the cab or your car. When you when you go to your room and call room service or whatever it is, we want you to feel it from check-in to check-out and everywhere in between. That's why we have this great team right here. Thank you all for coming tonight on a school night, as I say, from many of our New York hotels. And I hope many of you, if you're staying with us, I hope you're having a great stay. If you are, tell a friend. If you're not, please tell me. All right, and we'll make sure we take care of it immediately. But it's so important, I think, also, when you think of Asia, you think of Asian cultures, it's a big umbrella of a lot of amazingly great, impactful, beautiful, high-earning cultures many times. And it's so amazing, and I think the Asia Society does a great job of bringing all that together under a very, very important umbrella. And, when I think about the theme of today, let's talk about that just for a minute. Making connections. As Asians, we know how to do that. We're very, very good at doing that. Connecting each other, making sure we stay unified. But I think there's also room to continue to grow. Growing outside of each one's individual cultures to build unity, which is the second part. And, I think we all collectively need to come together. And I'm seeing more and more of that now. But there's no reason why together, all of our cultures under the beauty of Asia can't come together and do even greater things, right? Ours is a diverse category, which is growing in stature. is getting more and more attention, as it should, because we're delivering. We're delivering every day of the week, and Sundays too, right? And it's so important that we continue to inspire action based on our track record. Now, how do we inspire action? We'll do it our way. May not be the same way that everyone else does it, but we'll do it our way. But we need to make sure that we're advocating for each other, right? Not everyone's voice is heard as loud as others within our umbrella, but we need to advocate for each other. Because if we don't do that, we're never going to continue to rise. And we all know that's something that we need to do because we have so much to offer and so much to bring to the table. You know, at Marriott International, we've been at this for 95 plus years of putting people first, of respect for the individual, and welcoming all to at any of our 8,000 hotels around the globe. And it's something that we're going to continue to do. And we want to help in partnership with all of you here, in partnership with the Asia Society, to continue doing that every day of the week. And we cannot wait to welcome you again to one of our hotels. So please come by and say hello. And it is now my deep pleasure to introduce Ms. Lulu Wang, who is the Vice Chair of the Asia Society Board of Trustees. Ms. Wang, thank you all very much.
Thank you, Purva. It's such a pleasure to be with you all tonight. And if you thought it was hard act to follow Bing, I've got to follow Bing and you. So, but it's wonderful to see the esprit in this room. I don't know if it's because New York City is finally coming alive or that you've all get an energy from each other. And I think more and more as you have Asians gathering with a common interest to really advance our collective community and our collective influence, we draw a lot of energy from each other. And I think that's what I'm sensing in this room. So I'd love to see that. And of course, we're here to really to celebrate our APA drivers for diversity, the class of 2022. And you've been called the Pantheon. You've been called connected and delivering the good. So we really look forward to getting to know more about you and your the example you set for all of us. I think increasingly Asians who've always been a bit shy about being out there, and we had been known to be accused of putting a barrier over our light, we are learning that we need to stand up. Because we're not standing up for ourselves, but we're standing up for our community and for all Asians. And this has helped to lift us out of that very modest, self-effacing, traditional Asian profile that we all hear about, but to really be able to announce our contributions to this great country, our contributions to each other, and to set the kind of pathway that we'd like to see our young people being able to set upon. As we develop more role models, I have to talk about our keynote tonight. Our keynoter is Evelyn Yang. I think many of you who don't know her know of her as being the wife of Andrew Yang, but I tell you, she's a person of her own right. They met in Columbia together, and I'm sure they were equal students. You might have been a better student than Andrew. But Evelyn is quite a dynamo in her own right. We hear about Andrew being a great champion for New York City when he ran for mayor, and then, of course, he was the first Asian to really mount the national stage in a run for the presidency, and did quite respectably. But behind all of that, it was really a partnership. Evelyn was there all the way, and I think Andrew's the first one to tell you his greatest advisor is Evelyn. And so when I first met Andrew, I said, she's the power. So it was great to meet you. And Evelyn, in her own right, she's very accomplished. Not only has she been to Columbia, but she's also a very respected author. And she's been an advocate for many of the vulnerable in our community. And she's been particularly an advocate for children and to to expose the tragedy and the crime of child abuse, sexual abuse. And she said she has shed light on an area that people don't always talk about, and maybe Asians don't talk about. But I think it's important that she has written a book that really has been a great help to many families. She is truly a role model because she and Andrew have raised a wonderful family. They have made their lives in New York. Her two boys are, you can see that they've been raised with love and a lot of standards. I wouldn't call you a tiger mom, but I think your kids probably know that you set high standards for yourself and for them, and for Andrew too. So you see that benefit. So I don't want to take any more time talking about Evelyn. I'd love to have you meet Evelyn Yang herself. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. I know my name in the program is Evelyn Liu, so some of you might be surprised to see me tonight. And I would say, Chris, you're outing me because no one knows me as Evelyn Liu. That's like my, my secret name, for when I'm complaining online. So that there isn't a tabloid article written the next day like Andrew Yang's wife is complaining about her products from Amazon. So anyway. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. Thank you, Lulu, for that wonderful introduction. It is not true that I was there with him all the way. I have to say, in the beginning, I was like, don't call on me until you're at least 5% in the polls. But I'm so, privileged and honored to be here tonight for this inaugural event. I heard that the symposium early this morning had 1,000 registrants. I mean, that's amazing. And now the best part, which is the celebration and the award ceremony. And I'm so excited to celebrate all of the APA talent and community in this room. And we do need community now more than ever, don't we? After the George Floyd tragedy, the Black Lives Matter movement started to rise in many forms. So first in the media and the streets and in faith-based organizations. But I think that this idea of, or the movement was really cemented in its legitimacy when corporate America decided to take on this idea of social justice and racial justice as necessary. And when they started taking action and implementing DEI programs, it became clear that this fight for social justice was not just going to be a fad or a slogan, but that it was a commitment to actually doing the long-term work. And tonight in this community, we are seeing an example of that work to ensure that people of color and APAs who are contributing their talents to growing businesses are not just there and represented, but actually seen and actually valued. Many people don't realize that the Stop Asian Hate movement happened somewhat alongside the Black Lives Matter movement. For a long time, the Asian community has struggled to be seen. It's called invisibilized, and I feel like we finally have a word to describe what so many generations have felt. And all of a sudden, we have become highly and painfully visible in the midst of COVID. And that has made us a target of hate crimes. This is more true, of course, for East Asians, but our South Asian friends and colleagues know this feeling well too, as they were targeted with anti-Muslim sentiment after 9/11. Unfortunately, Asian hate crimes are still on the rise. And more than ever, our country needs to see Asian Americans as belonging here, as important for our society, and as leaders in the community. Unsurprisingly, government is always a step behind. And if you ask my husband, Andrew, he'll tell you that government is always 5 steps behind. But it's the reason why corporate attitudes and actions are that much more critical. When Asians are promoted and elevated and leading, it signals to the broader community that we do belong, that we are important. I was reflecting on what driver for diversity means, and we all play a part. I think sometimes about me and Andrew and our family and our unlikely political runs. I think about our faces, our very Asian faces, and the faces of our 2 very Asian young boys. How our faces have been aired over and over again on millions of TV sets across the country. Millions of dollars worth of TV ads, and millions of people, watching our faces and imagining this Asian American family as the first family of the United States or the first family of New York City. And I think about the impact that has had on the imagination of the American people. Because we're not a made-up in Hollywood Asian American family. We're a real-life Asian American family. And I'm not sure you can place a value on that kind of imagination or representation. And so what I want to say is that so often we are applauding Hollywood for representation. But you know what? I think that in real life is even more important. And the class of 2022 and the awardees tonight are in real life. You all deserve to be recognized for your accomplishments in real life. You have written the script. You are living that that part, and you've been driving diversity forward in real life. The people in your organizations are looking to you as living, breathing examples and role models. But we all know that we can't just be pushing forward alone. The organizations and infrastructures around us have to push forward as well. We are still severely underrepresented in managerial and executive positions, as being mentioned. An analysis in 2020 showed that Fortune 500 and S&P 500 companies are only at 6%, just under 6% of executives identifying as Asian or Indian. And we are, as Asian Americans, 13% of the professional workforce. So we as Asians also live in this shadow of the model minority myth, which basically paints us all as these happy, crazy rich Asians. Again, this is Hollywood and not real life. When the truth is that even if you take just our city, New York City, for example, over half of Asian American youth here are born into poverty. They live in poverty. And a quarter either don't graduate from high school on time or don't graduate at all. So success does not come as easily as it may appear to others. Compound those circumstances with biases and racism, and the road is even rockier. On a personal note, I know what it feels like to be underestimated and undervalued. It's why I'm sure that the awardees and the class tonight, would agree that it means the world to be able to inspire others to push forward, to take on risks, to write your own narrative, to chart your own path, and recognize the power that we have in our unique perspectives. It's why it's so important for us to all be here together tonight, celebrating this first ever class of API Drivers for Diversity. Thank you sincerely to all of the corporate sponsors here for showing your commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and for showing your commitment to being allies. Thank you.
Well done, Evelyn. Evelyn Liu Wong. One more round of applause for Evelyn. I don't know how to compliment I don't know how to compliment you without making it sound like a backhanded uncompliment, but truly Evelyn is one of the most thoughtful, voraciously read, engaging, and sincerely devoted people I've ever met. So thank you again, Evelyn. And tonight you can't be Evelyn Liu. And with that, I want to welcome the partner of August Leadership, which is now my favorite company name, as well as the chairwoman of Asia Society's Global Talent and Diversity Council, Madam Umran Beba.
I don't know the results, believe me. So I'm here to give the awards together with the help of course, Chris and Adam. I was a judge with my other esteemed judges. We have selected the class. Congratulations. But they didn't tell me who is the honorable mention, who is the winner. So the envelopes will be coming soon. But why am I here tonight? Because I was with PepsiCo for 25 years. Of course, Indra Nui was one of the trustees for many years. So I started in those days this job, and they never kind of let me go, Chris. Let's work on the succession planning. Huh? Yeah. And I am Turkish, so I'm kind of from the edge of, the Asian population again, I should say. We don't belong anywhere. I mean, that's the other group nobody talks about. Like, we are Asian, Middle Eastern, European, something like that. But I feel Asian because I lived in Hong Kong. I have seen the construction of Asia Society in Hong Kong when it was being built. So I have a special relationship with the organization. So without further, of course, waiting, are we ready? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to first read the honorable mention and then the winner. The honorable mention will stay at their table. They can stand up, of course. And the winner will come to the stage for an acceptance speech. And we'll take some photos at the very end. The first category is the Asia Society's 2022 Most Innovative APA Leader. The honorable mention is, okay, Marta Ha. Can we see Marta? Marta? Congratulations, congratulations. Okay, now in the same category, Most Innovative APA Leader, I will announce the winner and ask them, the individual, to come and make the speech, please. Okay, the winner is, do I read correctly? Sean Gupta. Woohoo!
Thank you.
I didn't know really. So when I have seen you today, let's take a picture, please. Yeah. So the stage is yours, and let's keep it to 5 minutes.
This is very
I can't take it for
yeah, it's very heavy. It feels like an Oscar. Okay. If you know me, my Instagram is very important, so if someone could video this, it's very important to me. So after today's intros, quickly wrote some words here about 10 minutes ago. I'm truly, truly honored to be here. It's my first time in this building, and I live in the neighborhood. I've always heard about the Asia Society, but to actually be here for the first time and be honored tonight, I'm truly humbled and blessed. And so, in thinking about tonight's theme and everything that we've talked about tonight, every one of us here has faced similar challenges in our lives. We've wrestled with our cultural identities, we've encountered bullying or discrimination due to our race, and ultimately, we have found an appreciation for our dual AAPI and American cultures. I want to acknowledge all of you here for truly making a difference in our community and in changing the way our community is viewed in American society. Finally, the country is starting to hear our true voices, and everyone in this room is responsible for that. It's, as we learned, it's not just the media, which I work in, it's really all of you and all the roles that you play in. So thank you for this incredible honor, and let's keep fighting for all of our causes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So should I get the envelope? Oh, okay. He has a certain way. Okay, let's. So, congratulations again, and we are moving to the second category of most inspiring APA leader, and I have the envelope for honorable mention. What? Is it true? Okay. Honorable mention in this category is Sean Gupta. Oh my God. Congratulations again.
Can I give another speech?
I mean, we have read the write-ups as candidate 1, candidate 2, company 1, company 2. So it's basically, we didn't know what is what. Therefore, this is very exciting for me also. And the most inspiring, winner in this category is Shahela Rahman. Did I read it correctly?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations. Stage is yours, and I will move away.
Oh my God, I didn't prepare a like any kind of, I really didn't expect this. Thank you so much. My family is from Bangladesh, and I'm a Bangladeshi American. And this model minority myth impacts us all, and especially for, the communities that are not doing as well. We really need to help them and, encourage them to get to, the levels that the rest of the Asians are at. And I really thank everyone here from Credit Suisse, and thank you.
Okay, I am back, Chris. And this will be the outstanding. Yes, okay. So this is the outstanding overall achievement supporting APA, which is an incredible category again. We have the honorable mention in this envelope. Marta, Congratulations, Marta. At the end, we will get the picture of all of you. So I want to see you closer to the stage. Yes. Okay, this is the last envelope I'm opening, and then I will invite Chris to do the next one. Right? Okay. Outstanding overall achievement supporting APA talent winner. Okay. Are we sure? Okay, Sean, please back. Yes. Wow, this is becoming bigger and bigger.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, first I have to do this. And we will take another picture. Okay, I leave it it's very heavy. Yeah, let's make sure. So you want to make another speech?
Yeah, so people are probably like, who is this guy?
Why don't you tell me?
Yeah, so why don't we, you said I only used 1 minute last time, right? So hi, everyone. My name is Sean Gupta. I live here in New York City. I live in the neighborhood. I went to school in Chicago and Columbia Business School. I teach a class there. And I work at Paramount, which is formerly known as Viacom CBS. And so driving diversity and inclusion has always been a very important aspect in everything that I've done throughout my career. I graduated business school a long time ago, like 2006, and was at Deutsche Bank for a number of years, almost 7 years. I led Columbia Business School recruiting there under some managing directors, and always was focused on recruiting more and more women into investment banking. And as you know, there's a stereotype that investment banking is very kind of male-led. When I moved over to the media industry, I worked at Time Warner Cable and then Viacom CBS, and I worked at BET Networks. Had the honor and privilege to work at BET Networks for almost 7 years, and so 6 years. And so now I work at Paramount Plus, and we are really, really focused on bringing more diverse voices to the screen. And our company is committed to telling diverse stories, recruiting diverse talent, diverse actors, and telling really, truly authentic stories and not just crazy rich Asian stories. And so, diversity is really important, and having diversity on my team is very important to me, and having all of those diverse voices. When I initially started at Paramount Plus, I was I took over a team that was all Caucasian and male, and now it is almost 40% female. And so thank you so much for all of these for recognizing this tonight. It's a pleasure to meet all of you, and it's a pleasure to be here. So thank you so much. Thank you.
So it's a privilege to be leading this council. I have some of our council members also here. Of course, I see Apurva. Great to see you. And I have seen Sana and others before. But also, it's a privilege to work with Chris. In the pandemic, we were always on the Zoom or other screens, basically, and we had actually, this is the third event we are doing, I guess, yeah. So virtual, now we are in the virtual world for our conferences, close to 1,000. And this award this year is the first of its kind, and every 2 years we will repeat this. And next year we are hoping to have our traditional corporate survey. With that, Chris is going to announce the company, the organization award. Thank you so much for everything you do, and enjoy the evening.
Good evening, everyone. Everyone have a good time? Good time tonight? Good. Let's give it another round of applause for everyone, shall we? So I have the pleasure of announcing the award for Asia Society's 2022 Corporate Citizenship. This is an important award because beyond the letters that are inscribed on this award, it really symbolizes a company's commitment to why we're all here. And that is to support AIPI talent in the workplace. So, with that, I'm going to start with the honorable mention. I ask for a round of applause before we move to the winner. And when I announce the winner, I ask for one representative from that company come on stage to accept remarks. I think a lot of people are happy I'm finally announcing this. The honorable mention. Asia Society's 2022 Corporate Citizenship Award for Outstanding Best Practices in Support of the AIPI Community in the Workplace goes to Chevron. And I know that a good friend and member of the council, Sana, I know you're here somewhere. I'm sure you're really happy to hear that. Yeah. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you, but you know now. All right, friends. The Corporate Citizenship Award for 2022 from Asia Society goes to Bank of America.
This is for Neil.
Thank you. You can hold it.
So good evening. Oh, come on, like I see everyone in this room. Good evening. So my name is Cynthia Bowman. I am responsible for diversity and inclusion at Bank of America as well as talent acquisition. And it's just my pleasure to be here. This is my second time in this building, this amazing, beautiful building. And on behalf of Bank of America, we just are so pleased to receive this recognition tonight. I am here with my boss, the head of HR, Sherry Bronstein. The entire HR leadership team at the table, as well as our own Anil Matai, who is being recognized and honored tonight. Anil, stand up, Anil. Anil leads our Asian Advisory Council, and he is responsible for really the great work that we do at Bank of America. And so I just wanted to maybe share a few things. We talked about some statistics, and I do think it matters, as well as our work that we do around racial justice and economic opportunity. After George Floyd's murder, we announced $1.25 billion that we were going to donate, and a large portion of those funds are going to the work around stopping Asian hate. In addition to that, when you think about our own representation, because diversity matters, we need individuals to look up and see people who look like them. At the top of our house of our company, not only are 2 of our executives also Asian that report to our CEO, we also have over 10% of our senior executives that are Asian. Over 13% of our total population in the U.S. is Asian. Over 12% of our manager population, mid-level executives, and 24% of our campus class in the United States. So when we talk about not only talking the talk, I think as organizations we must walk the walk, not only in terms of representation, but the work that we do to continue to advance and drive racial equity and economic opportunity in the communities that we serve. So I am so incredibly proud to thank you and accept this award on behalf of Bank of America. Again, I want to thank our incredible leadership team, and Anil, it's been my privilege to work with you, and thank you for the great work that you've driven for us in our company. Thank you.
Yeah. Everyone, my good friend, Bing Chen.
I've never been at a symposium that started on time and ended early. What's going on? Either this is the most efficient organization in the world, or we've decided we're all afraid of each other. Maybe both. No, it's such a privilege again to be back. Thank you so much for grabbing me. But first and foremost, congratulations to Sean. Second is we're so grateful to all the API community, and then especially our allies, both multicultural and corporate. So thank you, of course, to Marriott for tonight. We have a couple of logistical administrative items. First and foremost, the awards and full report are now available at Asia Society's website, so please be sure to check that out, effective 9-ish p.m., so 1 more hour. 8:30? Also early. Second is the festivities will continue, including the bar and food until 9:30 still? That one's on time. All right. And finally, if all honorees as well as honorable mention and nominees can stay up here, we have to take a picture to prove that we like each other and that we are here in person. So with that being said, I think we all thoughtful people have a healthy ambivalence to summits, symposium, and events. It's great to bring everyone together, but then the question that sort of remains is now what? And so we hope that everyone takes away two things tonight. One, this is obviously an illustrious room of several decision makers, and so we hope you find other people you can cross-pollinate opportunities with. And then second, of course, and you can discover this more through Asia Society staff, like the wonderful Chris. Thank you for everything you've done today, Chris. As well as the website. Find other ways that you can get involved with Asia Society writ large, whether it's the Diversity and Talent Council, whether it's with its entertainment efforts, whether it's with its incredible contemporary art efforts, so forth and so on. And so with that, thank you all so much for spending your evening with us. Be sure to take lots of pictures, be merry, and thank you again for joining us.